Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Fallout Wasteland Warfare Settlement Mode playthrough, episode 7 of season 4, definitely into the latter half of the season now. I hope you're enjoying, and today, well, New Hope is dealing with the fallout, if you pardon the pun, of the information they've learned from last time, so absolutely be caught up with the series before going forward so you know what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how desperate they might be. And with that, yeah, I think we're ready to just jump straight in. So we'll have to do the settlement mode stuff first before anything else. So we have some explore cards to potentially do, and we're hoping for some good results this time because last week was not so great. So we are drawing 2 and re-rolling 1. Let's split there and say that's our first one, then split back this way and say we're drawing that one for number 2, and we'll see what we have this time. Still about 570 something caps to our name, should any of them require funding. Mass Pike Interchange. The buckled and broken freeway is host to the gunners' camp. After seeing them leave, you search it. Nice, a suit of T-45. Draw T-45 power armor, but the gunners are returning. Either leave now, discard the armor, or test int to start it up. So if you fail the test, you fight the gunners and model starts activated. That's pretty rough, but another set of power armor would be real nice. Test int. What's the int on Nate? The int on Nate is a 7. I'll take that chance for some more power armor. That's a success. He passed. The gunners arrived too late to track you, so we just got ourselves some T-45 power armor. We already have, what, a T-60 or 2 T-60s? I can't remember what power armor we have, but we definitely have 2 in the collection. And the other card is Recent Tracks. I think we've had this one before. You spend time scouting out the next battlefield and find evidence of creature activity. Oh, that's actually surprisingly apt. This could be useful. Draw a creature card. You can choose if a specific model on your side, a random non-friendly model, oh right, okay, so it makes an enemy immediately do it. Okay, you know what, we'll do that. I'll draw the card once we're actually ready to get started. It will apply just before the start of turn 1. So, until the camera goes out of focus, that was actually pretty quick. I'm also going to have to go look out another set of T-45. We're not bringing any power armor today because we aren't going to need it in theory. But let's hear what we're doing today, and then I'll be back with the specifics of who I'm going to bring.
Quest 7, quest name. In case of emergency, loot. Very little was known about the Children of Atom beyond their obsession with their concocted deity associated with pre-war nuclear weapons. Their desire to know about nuclear arms in the region was very worrying. New Hope had to plan ahead for the worst case scenario, that the crazed cult would accidentally or purposely set off a nuclear device in the area. They had to scavenge for all the Radaway, Radex, gas masks and hazmat suits that they could find.
So that is what is happening today in the wake of a potential nuclear event. Let's say New Hope is looking to try and protect themselves as much as possible. They are here for everything that will facilitate them to do that, as my dog hits the camera. Well done. So this is who's coming here today, and first of all, as voted on last time in the comments, Nora has now had enough Wasteland experience that she is going to no longer use her Day 1 Survivor card, and she is now using her proper Sole Survivor card. She gets a couple of boosts in stats, and most specifically, she becomes as good at shooting as Nate is as good in close combat. So she is now a pretty good shot. 7 or less is a really nice base number to try and have to hit. And her health goes up to 7. I think that's an increase. Yes, yeah, plus 1 health as well. So Nora is now just better across the board, so that's a much needed stat boost for the team. Along with her usual gear, which is the Incendiary Baton, 10mm pistol and hunting rifle. She's taking the Gauss rifle again because it's base damage 3 and really powerful, so why not? Pennyworth is here using his Mr. Handy Flamer and Mr. Handy Laser this time. Nate is here using the Hunter's Hunting Rifle, which is going to be very effective this time. Grognak's Sword and his Hunting Revolver, which is his base gear currently. Then we have John, aka Not Sturges, using his Kneecapper 44. He took 3 knees last time, so we'll see if he can take more this time. And he's going to be given that Ballistic Fist that we found in the Wasteland last time, which is just a slightly better power fist. Pretty cool. He needed a close combat option. His base hit chance in close combat with a close combat weapon, not a pistol, is actually really good. I think it's a 6. Yeah, he's strength 6, just 1 shy of getting that strength bonus. So a ballistic fist on him is actually a pretty good thing, so he'll be able to much better defend himself in close combat. So we're giving that to him, not necessarily permanently. Let's see how he likes it and maybe change things going forwards. And then finally we just have the Settler because her base shooting chance is good by Settler standards. She usually uses a hunting rifle that's silenced. She's being given the Cowboy Repeater that we picked up because I just want to try it. It's only base damage 1, but it rolls double black dice regardless of short range or long range. And its short range is range black, so it's huge. So I'm going to give that a go and just see how she does. The team is going to be deploying in the bottom left corner, red in, as they often do. So I'll get that set up and also show you who they're up against and explain how they're going to win today, either a minor victory or a major one. This video is sponsored by Noble Knight Games. Check out the video description below for an affiliate link that will take you through to their store, and it will help me out as well. Thanks. And there's the team set up in the bottom left of your screen there. Forgot to mention, but along with that T45 power armor we just got for New Hope, they do have 2 sets of T60. So that's 3 power armor in total, 2 T60s and 1 T45 now. So that's decent, especially if they need a lot of radiation defense, because power armor is good against that. But let's focus on today. They are looking for a bunch of searchables, but they will not be drawing from the Wasteland deck. They're not getting equipment necessarily. They are specifically searching for things to help them in the event of radioactive fallout, Radaway, Rad-X, etc., as explained earlier. So there is a total of 7. I'm going to have to go shaky cam here a little bit. There is 7 searchables. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 searchables. A minor victory is if they get to and use up an action to thoroughly search 5 of them. Complete victory if all 7. We will flip them. If there is a negative on the card, or rather on the token, it will be resolved, but no item will be drawn. It's just considered, oh, they found something they needed for this specific quest today. So we will still do negatives. Enemies, we have 2 normal rad roaches, 1 radioactive, 1 up there in the crater, 2 mongrels, and 2 mole rats. Basically enemies that are not particularly hard to kill, but they're very annoyingly quick. They'll get into combat. Some of them don't even need line of sight to initiate charges. They're just going to get in the way and slow them down. Yes, they're easily killable, but they're also going to come back armor die number as far away as possible from my team at the end of every subsequent turn from turn 2 onwards, for a maximum of 5 turns. I think that covers everything. Last thing to do is go draw creature cards and apply a creature card to a creature on the table, which is quite funny. We'll see if something larger than mole rats and rad roaches appears and eats one of them. Here is creature cards, so let's split the deck and say this one is being applied. Ghoulrilla, okay. A large ape approaches you with its teeth bared. So this would be a test of strength or charisma. I wonder if I get to pick because we're actually applying it to a random enemy. Well, let's just say, do I have a die here? Oh, I don't have a d6. Here we go. If I get a 5 or a 6, I'll re-roll it, but 1 will be that mole rat, 2 will be that mole rat, 3 will be that rad roach, 4 will be that rad roach. That's just out of line of sight. We'll re-roll 5s or 6s, so 3 would be 1, 2. It's this rad roach. I don't know what's higher. We'll go with whatever skill is highest on a rad roach. Are they more charismatic or are they strong? Well, it's a 1 either way. So, I don't think they're going to pass this test, but it's not literally impossible. They could get a crit, and they did not. So what happens if they fail? I didn't specify it's different damage, but we'll say they take 2 damage then, since I didn't specify, since 3 is a bit overpowered. So that rad roach is going to start with 2 damage, and with that, let's get the game started. So as much as speed is of the essence, I want to start with some violence. So the Settler moved up, and we're going to use that Cowboy Repeater against the clear line of sight mole rat in the middle of the street to the right there, and she only gets to fire once because she's moved. At long range, the Cowboy Repeater is just double black die. If it was close range, there'd be a yellow die thrown in, and she's on 6s, so let's start on a good thing. That's a crit fail. Well, sorry, it's not a crit fail. No, it is not, because it has a quick action associated. Can she do a prepare? She can do a prepare, so she'll do just that. The mole rat to the upper left of the red rocket station is the one who was randomly selected to activate. Moving up, if he does a charge, it doesn't count as a trigger because he burrows underground. However, with a normal move, it does. So after that first movement, he's actually getting shot at. So he might die if it goes well enough. And he is in close range at that distance. Oh, can I not quite fit this? Nope, we're going to have to just keep it in here, so we'll just move down a little bit. Only on 4s this time though, but with that yellow die thrown in. A 7 that comes down by absolutely nothing, so it gets to live, which means it is actually right danger close here, ready to charge next time if it lives. Well, let's see if the newly upgraded Nora can just immediately delete that mole rat. Moved up once, going to fire the gauze rifle. Oh, because she moved, it would actually have a black die thrown in. Along with the yellow, it gets base. And it is on mighty 7s. And she rolled a 7 on the dot, so it is thanks to her being on that upgraded card that she landed this shot. 3 base damage plus the 1 there is 4. Doesn't matter what they roll. Actually, yeah, they have 1 armor. Yep, doesn't matter what they roll because they only have 2 health. So that mole rat is indeed deleted for now. Way up at the other end of the table, the glowing radroach swarm activated, and because there is no enemy close enough, it was just doing random movement because it's full health as well. So it just wandered around. It actually would have wandered off the table, so I course corrected it slightly because that wouldn't be fair if it just walked off and was considered dead. So it's skirting the very edge of the table there, well away from being triggered just yet. Since Nate can handle himself in close combat, I'm moving him up first and just double moving. He is close enough to this that first action next turn, he'll be able to search that as the first of at least 5 that they need to get. I'm going to need to have someone run up the other end of the table though, so that will either be John and or Pennyworth, I think. The Redroach swarm that was wounded by the Ghoulrilla that randomly appeared and then disappeared into the mist right after, activated. Because he was wounded, he isn't following the move randomly until there's a threat within certain range AI track, so he's just moving up to be aggressive, and he would have had to shorten his charge distance to go over the wall and the crates, so he couldn't actually initiate a charge since they don't have the burrow rule. So just went round. He's probably going to get murderized, but it will slow us down if I do that. Well, I actually decided to take advantage of those Radroaches moving so close. Also, I forgot to put down super armor on our unique characters. I've done that now. Not that it's mattered yet, because there's been no attack backs. But I activate Pennyworth. He moves red, so that's fast as is. But I decided to initiate a charge for his second action this round. He would have been able to move past it with a red action, but this way he ties up a Radroach that has no chance of damaging him, because he's tough and resistant to radiation anyway, so that won't do anything either. So he can kill that Radroach and then continue moving, like for instance towards this objective here next turn. He'll take a... what will he take? I've just realised I forgot to give him his buzzsaw. Oh wait, no, he's equipped with 3 weapons, not 2, right? Yeah, up to 3 weapons. Sorry, my bad. So I would obviously have given him the buzzsaw because he has to have a close combat option. I will give him a black charge die bonus just to try and... Actually no, green. He doesn't need the black because it's only got 2 health left. One of the 2 mongrels activated, and they are fast and they charge really long. So he moved up, and then with that massive blue charge distance he was able to get over here right into combat with Nate, taking a black charge die bonus for next round. That's a problem because they have a lot of health to get through and they're fast, so they're good at just tying up units, which makes them the biggest, I guess, threat or problem out of all the enemies on the map. So with that finished, it's just over to John for me, and then there's still 1 mongrel left, 1 mole rat, and the other Radroach swarm. And for John's activation, I just double moved him because the way that the creatures on the map have moved, they've kind of abandoned the upper left of the Red Rocket Station, where there is those 2 objectives, and then following that path in the front door of the Red Rocket there's a 3rd one. So if I had someone just kind of slip around there and the rest of them get tied up in combat, that's fine, because that's 3 out of the 5 that are kind of just easy for the getting. So I'm going to try and do that with John. It means we're not necessarily going to get the chance to see the Ballistic Fist in action, which would be a great shame, as it would be the missed opportunity to claim more kneecaps with that kneecapper of his. But in terms of needing a major win, I'm sending him up there just to focus on that. Nate's getting swarmed over here with the other Radroach swarm acting aggressively because there is an enemy within black aura radius of him. Moved and then was able to charge in, taking a green charge die bonus for next round. So that means Nate's not going to get a chance to loot that, because he can't kill both of them in one swing each unless... I think even if he hits maximum damage with Grognak's sword, it's not possible. This other dog's got the zoomies, doing double red move, threatening Pennyworth over here, but not close enough to initiate the charge. Plus he didn't have line of sight after his first move in the... actually, dogs I think can charge without it, but either way he was just outside of blue, so had to do another move action. And final action for the first turn was the other mole rat that didn't get murderized. Moved and then was able to charge, burrowed underground, popped up behind Pennyworth and has joined the fight against him, also taking a green charge die bonus. So there's a lot of potential big melee rolls for round 2. That's us at the end of turn 1. No extra enemies that died have a chance of coming back on until the end of turn 2, into the start of turn 3 that is. So we'll go straight to the event. Alright, let's see what the Wasteland has for us today. We're going to cut straight here. Raider Radio 4, we've had 1 twice and now we've got 4. Hey guys, I've got a fun one for you. Got a note here from Nira, which is, now that I read this is a friggin' love letter. Are you not saying that word, me? Nira's a robot, you idiot. The next move action that any robot makes this round increases by 1 colour. Ah, that would have been so good if Pennyworth wasn't locked in combat. He's not going to get the chance to do a move, probably. He might, if he gets rescued by someone. I'm going to have to think real hard about who I go with first, because I do still have first activation. So as we begin round 2 of 5, I'm going to go with Nate, because I really want to try and do some damage to these enemies and ideally maybe kill one of them. So I'm going to aim for the roaches just because I don't want the rad damage. So we're going to swing at him. Grognak's sword is yellow, green, green, but he is strength 7+. So he gets that black die thrown in and it is on 7s. It's awkward to... I'm going to have to roll with my right hand, which I'm not really experienced with doing because I'm left-handed. But hey, let's try. Well, I was going to say maybe my right hand is luckier. Nope, that would be a crit fail. Good start, Nate. Alright, well, Robin gets another shot. That's a 7 that already hits, comes down by 2, it shatters all the armour, doesn't get anything special though, so it's just 2 damage. That does mean the Radroach won't get the double attack, because that's half its health, but it could definitely have been a lot better than just 2 damage. Ugh. Oh, and as it turns out, we're sticking down here because that mongrel is the first to activate, so it's getting an extra black die on its first dog bite, which is black, yellow, blue, and a green for outnumbered bonus, and this is on 6s. I'm just going to roll it like this. He rolled a 10, it comes down by absolutely nothing, so then we lose a black die for the charge bonus, keeps the extra green die, and he tries again. And that is a hit this time. Oh, he got a star, and he breaks 1 armour. So let's see what the star does first. It gives him a quick action, so you can do a quick action prepare afterwards. 2 extra damage, that's 4 going up against 2 plus 1 after taking into account the reduction. So, oh, okay, so he blocks a total of 3 and takes 1. Loses that super armour though. Honestly, that could have been so much worse. My next activation is going to be Pennyworth swinging into the Radroaches with that green charge die bonus. Super simple with a Mr. Handy Buzzsaw on 7s. That is a 5 with the 1 armor break, so that takes out the Radroaches. And he can't really escape, so for his other action, he's just going to swing with just that yellow die against them. Alright, it's only got 2 health, so he could kill it if he gets the hit. That is a 7, so it's not good enough by 1, right? Yeah, it's a 6. Oh wait, no, sorry, no, it is a 7. Sorry. Agility 7, which is what his melee skill is on. So it hits for 3 damage, they have 1 armor, so that's 2 no matter what he rolls on the armor die. So he actually just got a double kill, well done. Unfortunately that's used up his entire turn, so he's not going to be able to get anything. Just when he thought he was out, he was pulled right back in. That mongrel right there activated, obviously made the charge distance, its charge distance blue, and is taking a black charge die bonus as well. So, pretty nasty bite coming in against Pennyworth here. That's the roll. Let's see what happens. That is an 8, which is thankfully a miss, because that would have been some nasty stuff on there. That would have been a quick action plus something else. Break 1 armor and a total of 4 damage. Whew, thank goodness he missed. So for my next action, I think I'm going to activate Nora, and I think I'm going to have her try and help Nate out by shooting into combat. Now, she's on a 7 now, which means if she's shooting into combat, she's actually on a 9, so it's very unlikely she'll miss the initial hit. But then, of course, she's got to actually hit her target. But because there's 2 enemies and 1 ally, the chance of hitting Nate is incredibly slim. Except for now that I've said that, he'll obviously take a Gauss Rifle slug to the back of the brainstem. But hey, let's try anyway. So, first shot into the combat. You don't really need to see this initial roll. It's very unlikely she'll miss. Yep, she hit for 1 extra damage. So that's 4 damage. So, her intended target is the Radroaches because they haven't activated yet, and it would be an easy kill. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 4 is the Radroaches, 2 is the dog, 3 is Nate. Oh, she hit her intended target. They don't even get to roll the armor because it makes no difference. Boom. Now, hang on. Does she... It's a 50-50 shot. Or is it? I think there's one more 1 on this, isn't there? There's 3 1s. I think there's 3 of each, isn't there? Maybe she should just move. For her other action, she's just going to move. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Nate is fine against the dog, and she can keep going this way and aim for the other objective over here, because the enemies are just here to get in the way, and they're doing a good job of it, because I haven't had any yet, and we're about to, well, I don't think we're going to get any this turn. Actually, John will probably get 1 this turn, maybe. We'll see, but that's going to be it. So we're going to be 2 turns deep into a 5-round game. Granted, most of the enemies are dead, but they're going to start coming back soon, so that's also a problem. Well, it's the final activation of the round for the creatures, because most of them are dead, and it's the glowing radroach swarm that is oblivious to any threat because it's too far away. So he just kind of wandered around. I'm still just using that die to dictate which way he's going, by the way. It's just a random direction die. So he wandered around, as you can see where the yellow markers are, and is doing nothing. So now I get to do 2 activations to take us to the end of round 2, the Settler and John. 1 yellow move with John wasn't enough to get close enough to the searchable, so I've actually done a double move. 1 move here, the other one kind of going round. So yes, he is still in base to base with it, so he can use his first action next round to get that searched, and then that will mean he can do a move action and immediately touch the next area. So that's 2 kind of covered. Still going to need help for sure though. And with no immediate danger to herself, the Settler, I just did a double move and moved around here. She is touching that, so her first action next round will be to search it, and that should cover. That's covering 3. If Nate gets the one, if he uses up the action just to search the one he's at, that's 4 covered. So then we only need to get Nora to the one that she's quite near, and that would be the 5 for the minor victory at the very least. So I think that's got things handled for the minor victory. But at the end of the round, we'll do the event card first, roll the armor die, and see how many enemies are coming in. They are going to come in at the table edge that is furthest from any of my troops, which will probably be the top right of the table. Alright, let's see what's taking us into turn 3. Let's go for this one. Radio News Vegas. Hey, it's Mr. New Vegas letting you know I've got a new Christmas compilation coming out soon. Nuclear Winter Wonderland. Look out for it on holotape, aka nothing. How many enemies are respawning? 4. All of them. Everyone that's dead is coming back on. Oh dear. So as we begin round 3, there is where the reinforcements for the enemies have come on. Alright, let's take some swings with Nate. He will get attacked back because of that repair. I might just do both his attacks first, although I also might just search that because we really need to start making progress towards a win here. But he's going to swing at least once at the dog, and then it's going to hit back, so let's do that. On a 2, it comes down by 5, so it definitely hits. The bottle cap doesn't do anything with Grognak's sword, I think. Oh, actually it does. It breaks armor. Well, guess who doesn't have armor? The dogs. So that's just 2 flat damage of its 6. Oops. But then the dog bites back with yellow, blue, black. And that's a miss. Comes down to a 7, but that's still not good enough on a reaction, so that's fine. Nate has 1 more action left. I'm going to interact. I don't know how he's doing a search while he's getting gnawed at by the dog, but I didn't specify they couldn't if it under attacks, so I'm going to do it. It turns out it needs to be interacted with. Does he even have that skill? He does. He does. It's on a 7, so we will check it. We're doing it that he is taking. I don't know how there's a computer in these crates, but just go with it. He's getting a free check as part of wasting an entire action to look through this stuff, but if he fails, he is going to have to use another one. And he did fail, so we know what it needs at least. Well, I got some time because the world's most unattentive radroach swarms, radioactive radroach swarms, activate, and they just did a wonder again. They're still known within black, so they don't know there's a threat, and they're just not paying any attention. I don't think he's going to be able to kill it, but I'm going to go with Pennyworth just because he's in the most immediate danger. So let's see if he can hit it twice. He got a crit, the first crit of the game. Dogs don't have armor, so it's just 2 damage straight through, but that's a third of his health, so it's not terrible. Can you repeat the feat? You can, and again, the dogs don't have armor. So that is 4 damage done to that doggo. Good enough. Well, that mongrel is after Nate's ankle again. He's busy trying to hack into a computer. He's done that thing where he has 1 try left, so he's backed out and he's waiting on the cooldown to try again. So the dog is going after him twice. And that is a crit fail from the doggo for its first bite, which is just as well because he would have taken a leg off there. And second bite. That is unfortunately a hit, and he rolled the nuke again. Is it the leg or is it the hand? Because that does matter. Oh, it's the leg, so Nate's not going to be able to walk anywhere as fast for the rest of the game. Breaks one of his armour, so leaves him with 2 against 3 damage. He blocks 1 and takes 2 more. Alright, now this is the important stuff. We have some objective grabbing. Interacting with this, with the settler, and it is just a danger, but it does count as being collected and being something that New Hope wants. That is protection against potential radiation outbreaks, nuclear war, etc. You know, that casual stuff. But, danger card. I have the danger deck ready, hidden behind this building here, because I knew that there was at least 2 with danger on them in some capacity. So, what did finding some hazmat gear or radaway cost her? Remote control. You catch yourself just before you step on a C4 detonator. If there's a detonator here, where's the explosive? Do you step on it anyway? If so, scatter direction and roll the armor die to determine the distance from what caused the danger. Yellow, no distance, red, or off the table. At location, resolve, 2 damage, range yellow. Okay. Or, well, why is there orange? Oh, people within orange take an extra point of damage, that's what that means. Well, okay. Scatter direction and roll armor. So scatter die, I have that. So the direction is, that's not the scatter die, that's the 50-50 die. Sorry, wrong one. There it is. So it's the pointer, so it's that way, it's not going to hit anyone. Let's see how far it goes. Actually, if it goes no distance, it will hit her. A 3 is distance red, so it hits no one. That's fine. That means she lives, and she has found the first of at least 5. And I think 5 is all we're going to have to hope for here. But 5 should still be perfectly doable. Oh, and I was forgetting, of course, she has another action. So she needs to get to that door over there. But I think I'm just going to hop the wall with an activation. She could also go for that pipe, actually. So she's going to move here. She is a sniper, so sending a sniper in first. She's going to be the closest threat for all the respawned enemies. But I need to get over there and do some searching. Now, one thing I didn't consider is when the enemies were respawning, the rat roaches are too far to realise there's a threat, so they're going to move randomly. So a normal rat roach is just heading towards the irradiated one to have a party, I guess. It's just moving down the edge of the table there towards his friends who are just minding their own business right there. Alright, let's have John do his 2-4 activation. He is searching this metal pipe. He has, well, it's a blank, but he is searching something for the mission objective, so that counts as just being done. And then we're going to move against this right here, and that means he can search that next turn in turn 4, so that guarantees at least 3 done there. And when we move Nora, that's going to be at least 4. So yeah, we're on par for a minor victory at the very least. Well, the other mongrel is going to take some bites into Pennyworth, see if he can get revenge for that damage he took. Dog bite twice on 5s, that is a great fail right there. So that's good. Didn't really roll that well on the other dice either, to be honest. And his other bite is an 8 that comes down by nothing. So that is a double whiff from the mongrel. Perfect. My last activation of the round is a simple one. Nora is moving, which also gives her 1 counter on the God's Rifle. And she's interacting with this. And it requires a lockpick. Now, does she have that skill? She does, and it's on a 7. Crit. Good on you, Nora. So, that is at the end of the round then. Well, there's still a few enemies to activate, but at the end of my turn 3, that's 3 done. That's good. So the mole rats in the video games, they often know when one of their ilk is being attacked and then they kind of swarm you, so I'm going to have them be aggressive on their respawn, so I've moved them both just because they're moving the same. Double yellow move each towards the closest threat, which is the settler. The final activation is the radroach that's partially covered by the yellow marker mover there, and he's still at oblivious range, so he's going to be moved randomly twice, and I'll quickly show you where he ends up in a second. And there he is right there. It is a radroach party over that side of the table. A rocket launcher would not go amiss over there, but still, at least they're far away from me. So that takes us to the end of round 3. No enemies are actually dead now, so none of them are coming back because they're all still on the table, so it's just as well that none of the mongrels died because they'd be guaranteed respawns. So it actually kind of worked out better in that regard. And let's see what's taking us into the penultimate round. Let's go for this one. Siren. An early warning siren from the Great War buried under the waste starts to blare. Probably a short circuit. The deafening sound makes it hard to concentrate. Models cannot use the prepare action. Alright, so no prepares in this next round. Fine. So my first activation for round 4, I'm still going first because there's like 7 or 8 enemies. is the settler, and it's probably going to get her murdered, but I have to do this for kind of like a Hail Mary chance at getting a full clear. So I've moved her, she's adjacent to or she is touching this thing, so her other action is to search, and it is just a success, but she gets a danger card, although honestly the true danger is both those mole rats and now all 3 red roaches see her because of their threat radius. So she is going to get swarmed and eaten, but she's also got a danger card. So, danger card pile. You are the danger. Let's see, what is this? Oh, just a casual gasoline leak. There's gasoline all over the floor. When any guns are fired within yellow of the searchable marker, flip fire token. If the result is, it's 50-50 die, so that's what I'll use for that. Resolve a yellow distance, set on fire, then scrap this card, otherwise it remains in play. So I'll leave this card here because there is a gas leak. I don't think anyone is going to be firing over there, but it is, within yellow of that, so it's quite a big AoE. Although actually, if she's going to get killed anyway, if she gets swarmed, shooting towards that might be not a bad idea. It'd be cool if it actually did an explosion rather than just setting them on fire. That'd be like very cinematic, but that's fine. One of the deadly mole rats burrowed under the ground and initiated a charge. Oh, I forgot to roll for what its charge would be. On an X it's a black die, okay, so potentially damaging. He only hits on 3s, however I'm just going to roll the dice here because of no room. And that's a crit fail. Good job, mole rat. Credit to team. Alright, I need to make sure this happens down here. Nate is going to try and hack that computer while a dog hacks his leg. Let's see. He does it. So that means a minor victory is assured now. That is 5. So, perfect. And for his other action, he might as well try and defend himself then. So it's double yellow, green, black for strength plus 7. Or 7 plus strength rather. And on that note, on 7s. That's a 10. Oof. He's not been doing that great. Okay, that's a whiff. One of the red roach swarms that now realise there's a threat activated, they don't get to burrow under things and they need line of sight to initiate a charge, so it could only do a double move, but did so towards the settler, who is in grave danger of death via 1,000 cuts. Alright, let's have Nora trying to be very heroic and fire into this combat. She's on 9, so this part should be easy, yes. 1 and 3 is her intended target, which is the doggo. It is a 3, I hope that was visible. So she is hitting the doggo, it doesn't have any armor, and I think she only primed it to 1 because she'd fired it recently, so hopefully that's correct. That's 4 damage into the dog, and it is actually enough that the dog is out of there because I had 2 damage already. She has an action left. She is nowhere close to make a difference to the objectives. This is too high as well, so she can't actually see that combat there. Annoyingly, those roaches are behind the scenery there too. Yeah, there's nothing much for her to do. She'll move up to this wall, so she might be able to just take some random pot shots if need be. Because, yeah, I don't think there's anything else she can do. But she did well there saving Nate, because Nate has just been whiffing. His melee skill has not been shown up today. The other mole rat activated and did a charge through scenery from burrowing and has joined the combat there. So black charge die bonus plus green for having help. I was waiting for that activation to happen so John can slip in here after searching where he is. So there is actually a chance we'll just instantly win at the top of the next turn, depending on how that goes. It depends what's under the icon he's on as well. So let's just roll this here and hope for the best. That is a fail with a quick action, which they're not allowed to use because prepares aren't allowed. So nothing there on his 1 attack. So, as I said, I was waiting for John to search this. It is just a success. That's us at 6, and that means he can move a very tight corner there. I want him to move very efficiently. Try not to push the building. The yellow move gets him right there, which means at the top of the next turn, because I'll still get first activation because I don't think anything else is going to die, and we'll have respawns, that means he can just walk into that door and use his action to search it. Now it might need like a computer skill or pick lock skill, so it isn't necessarily guaranteed, but that gives us the best chance of actually getting a major victory here. We've got a very frustrated mongrel down here still trying to bite metal like an idiot. Let's see what he does. Well, I say that, oh no, it's 5s. He missed. The first bite was a miss. Second bite was a hit. The bottle cap is a prepare, I believe, or a prepare canceller, so that isn't relevant. That is 3 damage against Pennyworth's 2 plus 1. He fully blocked it. Good job. Oh, and we absolutely should have just stuck down here because Pennyworth is my last activation for the round. So let's see if we can get him on an 8. Not quite good enough. He just needs to get a hit. That's a 6. There we go. That's 2 damage. Boom! That mongrel is gone. Used his full activation though. That's fine. The glowing radroach swarm and the normal radroach swarm now get to activate. They are going to act aggressively because the settler is within range blank of them, so pray for her if they can reach her. Well, after moving around the corner, the glowing radroach swarm actually can't get through because you can't pass through bases from what I recall, unless it's a death claw or something that has the rule where they're allowed to. So he's actually closer to Nora because otherwise he'd have to go around the corner here to get to the settler. So Nora was actually the closer threat, so he's wandered down there after her. And not much to say about the other swarm. That's where it ended up. It hopefully won't matter. It just really comes down to, I'm going to activate John first at the top of the next round, and hopefully he's just going to secure that major win. If he fails to do that, there isn't really anything else I can do because the settler takes an action to pull out of combat, and she'd get attacked at least twice. So, and an orange move wouldn't be enough to get to the door. So he really is the only one who can do it. But we are still going to see an event that takes us into this. It might help. Who knows? There's some helpful ones. Oh, it's number 4. Wait, that's the same one. I forgot to leave it out, so I didn't reshuffle it back into it. I don't usually, but I did it without thinking. Slippery. Models do not receive charge bonus markers. Okay. That's not going to be relevant in the final turn, probably. Actually, it might be, because the radroach swarm is going to get into the settler. But hopefully it's just down to John's turn. So it comes down to this, top of the final turn. It is just down to John searching that building, hopefully finding Rad-X, Radaway, hazmat suits, gas masks, anything else. A yellow move is enough to get to that token, which is just out of sight behind that wall there. Hopefully it's slightly visible. So it just comes down to what's on this token. Oh, and it is just an item. It just means search is good enough. Doesn't need to pick the lock or anything, so we can just end there with, I think this is the first major victory New Hope has actually managed to have this season, so 100% it's actually better than a major win because they got that T45 from one of the Explore cards they did, and Power Armor is fantastic against radiation in general, so it's like a step beyond that, so absolutely they're banking their win and scarpering. So that is going to do it for another Fallout episode. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Definitely banking that win. They got what they needed in the case of a worst case scenario. Hopefully it will not come to that, but they had to prepare themselves just in case with what that madman is planning, and it's just going to escalate from here basically. So they need to prepare themselves for the worst but hope for the best, and then try and potentially stop it from happening. So I hope you're looking forward to seeing where the story goes, what happens. Feel free to discuss it in the comments if you wish. On that note, thank you for watching. Please do show your support for the series, and I will see you in a week for the next one. Channel members get to see each new episode a day early before everyone else, along with certain other series you can see early as well by like a week, and it is also a way to support the channel. You could also check out the channel sponsor. That would be very great. If you buy anything via the affiliate link, I get compensated, so we both get something, and they do carry Wasteland Warfare, Call to Arms, other Modiphius products as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in a week. Ta-ta for now.